This router has a secret weapon that no other brand can match, and it might make you consider switching platforms. Now, I've used a ton of routers in this shop. Some have impressed me, some not so much, but this one took me totally off guard because it does something even the big brands can't compete with. And I'm talking DeWalt, Milwaukee, Bosch, and even Makita. Let me show you what makes this router different and why it might just be woodworking's best kept secret. Let's go. First off, who is this router made for? Well, because of the design and the features on here, it can be used by DIY hobbyists, it can be used by weekend woodworking warriors, or it can be used by pro-level woodworkers as well. It's that good. Before we get started, if you'd like to see this router or any other tool you see in the video today, I'll link those in the description, the pinned comment, and that shop button right here on YouTube. We're fixing to go over the features and break this down, but first I have to know, are you married to a battery platform? In other words, are you tied into DeWalt or Milwaukee or Makita and you're not looking anywhere else? Or do you go for the best tool for the job, no matter who makes it? All right, out of the box, you're getting a ton for what's inside. You do get the router, which very surprising at the size of this thing. Ooh, that is surprisingly compact. I thought when I bought this, I was getting a much larger, heavier, like the Milwaukee or the DeWalt, or even the Makita, but this, much lighter. I like this. I was thinking it was going to be like the DeWalt or the Milwaukee or the Makita, but it's not. It's a really nice sized router. This is a 2 horsepower versus the 2 1/4 peak horsepower on the other 2 or 3, but I like this form factor a lot. Even with the battery attached, it is very well balanced. Probably one of the better well balanced routers that I've tested as far as cordless, more on that later, routers. Also included is an edge guide. I always love to see this when these are included, but we do get a really nice edge guide with a fine-tune adjustment built in. This is a really nice edge guide if you're looking for that. Also, I haven't seen this in any of the other routers that I've tested. You also get a bushing set included with this. So several different size bushings here, should you need that, as well as a centering pin if you need that as well. And then of course it does come with a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch collet. And you also get a wrench for changing the bits. It does have a dust collection adapter included, which I was like, how do you put this thing on? Well, what you gotta do is you put these 2 bolts through the threaded holes in through the bottom, and then there's some round nuts that are included that just tighten down on top of that. It's really secure. I actually like how this is attached. A lot of them will just slip in and there's like a little wing nut, one wing nut that holds it on. This is quite secure. Hold on there. This thing is jam-packed with features like you've never seen. First, it is ergonomic, 6.9 pounds, very lightweight. It's also quite a bit smaller than the competition and not really giving up a ton of power here. This is a 2 peak horsepower hybrid router, and we'll talk about what that means. This is a variable speed as well. This is the first cordless plunge router on the market. It was the first. This has a built-in LED light on the bottom. There's actually 2 that lights up the space really nicely. And then overall, just an awesome feeling router in the hand. If you don't know, Metabo HPT cordless tools have a lifetime warranty. The only ones other than that I know of are Rigid, and they have a lifetime service agreement. Now, the lifetime warranty, there's a slight catch, which we'll get into, but it's a lifetime warranty. Now, this is a cordless router, but you can use it corded, which we'll talk about later. The ergonomics here have to be top notch. Just the way this holds in the hand, these are really nice size handles, and you can see everything well, you may not can see it, but it feels nice in the hand. It's just one of the best balanced routers that I've found. I hope the power's there. I love this plunge switch that locks it, so it's a very smooth plunge action, just butter smooth here. Like it just glides on there. Now, The way you lock it down is with this little Y switch. I don't know what you call it, but it's a Y. So no matter where it's at, you have access to it with your fingers. So you can get it with the middle or the ring finger or even the pinky finger under there. And to lock it down, you got your thumb pushing down, which is the most force you're gonna need. Push that, locks it into place nice and secure. To unlock, you can see any number of ways to do that. So I kind of like this design, the way this is. It's very ergonomic. Again, just everything's right at your fingertip. Now the way the trigger works is kind of unique. Now, the top switch is a safety switch. You can't power this on unless you push that top switch, which is very similar to most miter saws and a lot of other tools. I do like the safety feature. Now, you can just push that switch down, power it on. It does have a soft start and a brake, so you'll see that it powers up and then it also shuts itself or stops spinning very fast. Now, it has two modes here that you can use this trigger switch. First, you just press it down, pull the trigger, it powers on. When you let off, it powers off. Now, if you don't want to keep squeezing that trigger for whatever reason, all you have to do is when you pull this trigger is press down on the top button a little bit more and it will lock that trigger in power on mode. And then to power it off, you just squeeze the trigger again and it goes off. Now this is a plunge router, so it's made for plunge cutting, but you can use it in fixed mode. So anywhere in here you set your depth, all you have to do is use that switch, that little Y switch, to lock it in place anywhere along the plunge path. Now this does have a limit that you can adjust here for the height. So if you need to lower this so you don't want it to come up as high, you can just adjust those nuts down and it will stop that. Now, as far as the plunge adjustment goes, this has several. First, a little thumb screw to loosen up that bar, and then this is your depth stop. So you can set this anywhere along the way. This scale is also in millimeters and inches. Then you can set your depth setting. It also has some fine-tune adjustments down here. There's actually two, one on the lower setting, one on the taller setting, and you can adjust that as well. And then that one's just a solid pole. No adjustments there, but you do get micro adjustments at those two. This is a brushless variable speed motor, so you do get the benefit of that brushless motor, which is better battery life, more power out of a brushless versus brushed motor in these cordless tools. And then of course that variable speed, so you can dial up or down the speed of your router. And if you don't know, a general rule of thumb is the bigger round the bit, the slower you're gonna spin that, the more narrow, the higher speed you're gonna spin those bits, just to give you a little guide. Let's route something. About to put this thing through the test, but some things that'll make your routing life much easier if you don't have them yet. You got to check out these bench nuts from Carbon Method. Absolutely fantastic, high density foam. They super grip to their stock as well as your workbench, keeps things from slipping around, and they just hold really well. Gets it up off the surface too, so you don't mess your bits up or your work surface. And of course, the Craig Precision Router setup blocks. These go from 1/8 inch all the way to 1/2 inch, and I'm gonna use the 1/2 inch one to show you how to set up a router bit, as well as your edge guide 1/2 inch from the edge. These things are must-haves for routers, in my opinion. All right, so putting this through the test. First, battery powered with a roundover bit. I think this is 3/16 inch. Dust collection is fair. Really the best dust collection I have found on roundover or edge profile bits is the DeWalt because of the little adapter they have. But this doesn't have that adapter, and it's pretty typical for what you're gonna see from any router. It's not terrible, but it's also not perfect. As far as the roundover goes, it did exactly what I thought it would. With this 2 horsepower motor, it should have done a really good job, and it did here. Now, the first thing I did was set this up, this 1/2 inch bit at a 1/2 inch deep. Now, typically you don't take bites this big, especially because you have a plunge router. You can just step down to the exact depth that you're gonna be at. When you take large bites like that, it just puts too much strain on the bit as well as the motor or your router and everything like that. But I did want to test the power here, and it did perfectly fine. I saw no issues at all. If I pushed it a little too hard, it would bog a little bit, but that's to be expected. We switched to battery power, the bog was gone. It was plenty of power to do what we needed to. Now, it's also important to keep in mind, I'm using a 2.5 amp hour battery here, which is not a big battery. Like most of the time when you see these large routers like this, you're looking at 8 amp hour or even a 6 amp hour battery. So the fact that we're doing this 1/2 inch deep, 1/2 inch wide groove cut with a 2.5 amp hour battery and not seeing hardly any performance issues at all, that's a good sign. Now, as far as dust collection on this groove cut, it wasn't perfect. It's about what I expected. Most routers don't collect all the dust. There's a few that do better than others, but this is on par with most. To do it right, I wanted to step down into the cut. So I just set it up with a small bite first, make a pass, drop that down, make another pass, and it done what I thought it should. You're not seeing any bogging at all, and it's doing what plunge routers do, make cuts. Now when I was making my groove cut, something happened. Now you have to be kind of mindful of this little Y switch here and make sure you push it down. If you push it down with a little bit of force, it'll stick. If you just kind of half do it and just kind of nudge it on there, what's going to happen is what happened with mine, the vibration made it kind of pop loose and it plunged a little deeper than I wanted it to. When I really secure that down, just give it a little push. I didn't have any issues at all. So just be aware that if you do get this router, if you're doing through cuts or anything like that, you need that exact depth. Just make sure you push that down so it locks in place properly. And using the edge guide, it worked really well. Now, right at the end of my cut, you might see where it kind of juked on me a little bit, but that's because I wasn't holding it perfectly aligned on the back side, and I kind of was putting too much pressure on the front side, so when it left the board, it gave a little uh-oh. That's on me. I think this is a 5-star router, 5 out of 5, and I'm not the only one that thinks that way. If you look at the reviews on Amazon, Acme Tools, even Metabo's own website, and Lowe's, the majority of them are 5 out of 5. There's only one website that has less than a 5-star review or total reviews, and it's 4.5 stars. This thing is impressive, not only to me, but to a lot of you out there as well. Now remember, these two can't compete with this because it has a special feature. You may have saw it in some of my testing. What is it? Well, what if I told you you could never run out of power, mostly? If your battery goes dead, or if you're not wanting to use the battery. This thing has a very special feature that no other router like this can do, and that is the multi-volt. Makita has a multi-volt system that works with multiple tools. I use it on the Metabo track saw. It's a really nice track saw, can be corded or cordless. I love the fact that they're doing this. This also cordless or corded. It has an adapter that looks just like a battery. It connects just like the battery, but it has this very long cord that you can just plug into a standard wall outlet here in the USA. That means you get endless power, either cordless or corded, depending on where you're at, depending on how you want to use this router. This cordless tool has a lifetime warranty, not a lifetime service agreement. It says lifetime warranty. This also won a Power Tool Innovation Award in 2020. A cordless hybrid plunge router like this, lifetime warranty plus the hybrid power, they can't compete. And I think they should probably be worried about that. Now let's compare it to the competition, which would be the DeWalt, which came out late last year, the Milwaukee, which also came out last year. This was actually the first, Metabo was the first cordless plunge router to hit the market. Everybody else is kind of copying or following suit. Which one does it better? Well, I think the form factor here of this Metabo is absolutely perfect for the shop. On the job site, it's not overly heavy. The ergonomics are really good. The plunge is really good. Everything about this is nice. Now, I am a huge fan of this DeWalt router. It isn't very heavy at all, and so it's not like it's much heavier than this other one, even though it is a larger form factor. I actually do prefer the plunge base on this DeWalt. I've just been a fan since the day it came out. Not only that, it has anti-rotation shut-off, so should you get a kickback, this will shut the motor off. This also has overload protection on your motor. You'll see that triangle flashing if it gets overloaded. This has a lot going on for it. However, this is more expensive. Bare Tool, Metabo is around $269. The DeWalt Bare Tool is around $369. So is there $100 more improvement here? That's for you to decide. I like this DeWalt a lot. I've liked it since the day it came out. But this is also a very good competitor to the DeWalt. Now, what about the Milwaukee? Now, first and foremost, the Milwaukee's just big old top heavy, and it's just kind of bulky. I'm not a fan of the design. I think they should have done a better job of there. As far as the plunge and everything, like it's a nice router. It has plenty of power. The adjustments are really nice. I think they did a fair job here. I just would have liked to have seen them do just a little bit better. Now, I do like the ergonomics on this router as far as how it fits in the hand, the plunge mechanism, everything like that. It works extremely well. The fine-tune adjustments, it's a good router overall. I just think these two did it slightly better. But let's not forget Metabo, lifetime warranty. Also cordless or corded. So does that make a difference, make or break your decision if you were going to one of these? Pros and cons, what I like, what I don't like, and what I change if I could. I absolutely love the hybrid power. I love the lifetime warranty. I love the plunge on this. It is so butter smooth. I also love the edge guide. Micro adjustable, works extremely well. I also like that they give you a full set of bushings if you need those for patterns and templates. It's just awesome that it was included in the box. I love the ergonomics of this. The size of this is absolutely perfect. It's not overly big, it's not overly heavy, and just the way it fits in the hand, the way it operates is chef's kiss. I also like variable speed, plenty of power to do most anything you're going to need to do. I like the turret style stops that you get to depth set. I like that we get 1/2 and 1/4 inch collets included. And I do like, I may not have mentioned it, but is push one button to change the bits. So you'll lock that arbor with that button, and then you'll use that wrench to loosen or tighten the arbor nut. Just make sure the battery and or hybrid power is disconnected when you do that. Now, what would I change if I could? I would like to see improved dust collection. I would also like to see a lock here. When I push this down, you may have saw that had a little accidental extra plunge. That should be a shirt, accidental extra plunge. I didn't have this locked down tight enough because I didn't push it tight enough. It's not the fault of the router, but man, wouldn't it be nice if when you push this down, it clicked, kind of like the DeWalt. It's positively locked. I would like to see that on this Metabo, but is it a deal breaker? No. You just got to remember to push it down a little more. Other than that, that's a minor nitpick. Those two things, very minor. And one thing I like about Metabo that should not be discounted, is the fact that they go on sale regularly. There are regular sales on Metabo tools. And I look for the best deals and send them out every single day in my daily deals email. You should sign up, first link in the description and the pinned comment. It's absolutely free and you get tool deals delivered to your inbox. If you like this style video, hit that subscribe button and then watch that video right there. That's the DeWalt plunge router, the one with the anti-rotation. It's amazing. Click that box, get you the big old virtual fist bump. That's all I gotta say about that.